to Cooking with Miss Stockton. Today we're going to make a basic red sauce, and there's a special ingredient in here that separates it from most red sauces, which is fennel seed, and you can either choose to put that in or not. It has a slightly sweet taste to it, so it'll make your sauce taste just very subtly sweet. Other than that, you'll need some cans of tomato product, a couple cloves of garlic, some yellow onion, olive oil, a little bit of sugar just in case your tomatoes aren't fully sweet. Fresh tomatoes, if you'd like to put them in, that's optional. A little bit of Italian seasonings, or you could substitute basil and oregano, fresh or dried, as well as a little bit of tomato paste.
Here's the recipe if you want to take a screenshot.
So the first thing I'm going to do is prepare all my ingredients. I'm going to want to dice up my onion. I've already cut off the root end. I should have cut off the stem end, but I cut off the root end. So I'm going to actually cut down through the other end, and then I'm going to remove the outside of the peel. I'm actually going to make a half recipe today because I have a ton of red sauce in my refrigerator already. So I'm just going to be using a half an onion. If you're making the full recipe, you probably want to use a full onion. And I'm going to go ahead and make a horizontal cut here, and then some vertical cuts, not going all the way to the root end. You'll remember how to do this from our last cooking demonstration. And then I'm going to go ahead and curling my fingers away from the blade in the part that I'm holding onto the onion. I'm going to go ahead and cut down the rest, and I'll have these nice little pieces of onion. You can always cut them up a little bit more if you need to. Then you want to prepare your garlic, and I'm going to use today, I have this handy device which will take the skin right off of the garlic. Here's a head of garlic. I'm going to take out a couple cloves, and then I'm going to put one of these cloves inside this little roller, press down, roll a little bit. That will loosen the skin so I can take it off, remove that skin. And so I'm going to use this garlic press today, and for this one I open it up, I place the garlic here on the little upstart places, and then I'm going to go ahead and crush it. Now it can fall into this handy device, but I'm not going to actually do that. I'm just going to make sure it gets crushed. Then I'm going to press it out, and I'll have the garlic all pre-crushed here. Pretty exciting. All right, I today happen to have some fresh basil from the refrigerator that I hadn't used completely for another recipe. So I'm going to mince that up. I'm also going to mince up some fresh oregano. This is some fresh oregano, and again, there are special tools they have for this, but I don't happen to have that tool. You can just take it, grasp the stem, and pull down, and all the leaves will come off easily like that. And then you can go ahead and dice those up. When you dice them up, you just kind of want to put them in a nice little pile. Keep the tip of your knife down on your cutting board, and go ahead and just lift the part of the knife, being very careful to keep your fingers away from the blade as you go. Slow as you go is much safer. Once you have all your ingredients prepped and ready to go, you're ready to start cooking. So what you're going to want to do is put about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil in a large saucepan or a Dutch oven. You'll remember a Dutch oven is one of those tools that has handles on both sides with a lid. Heat that olive oil up. You want to wait till your oil is hot before you put in your ingredients, although some people now say starting from cold is good as well. Once it's hot, you're going to add your onion first by itself, and you're going to saute that onion for about 7 to 10 minutes. You'll know your oil is ready if you put just a tiny bit of water in it, a drop or two of water, and it sizzles right away. If it doesn't sizzle right away, then you know it's not quite ready. You can also take a small piece of your onion, drop that in, see if it sizzles. No sizzle, not quite ready. All right, so my oil is hot, so I'm going to go carefully. You can hear that little sizzle. Throw in, or carefully place in, my onion, a little bit onto my stovetop there. Not the garlic yet, because that can tend to burn. But I'm going to adjust my burner down because it's an ultra hot burner. I don't want to have it too hot. And using a wooden spoon, again, you don't want to use anything that will heat up and burn you, so no metal tools. A silicone spatula or a wooden spoon would be your best bet here. So go ahead and stir your onions. You're going to do this for 7 to 10 minutes until they're translucent. So after about 7 to 10 minutes of cooking, sauteing your onions, which is, stirring them around with the fork, don't want to let them just sit. You want to go ahead and add your minced garlic and your spices. If you're adding dried spices, you want to crush them in your fingers as you add them. Mine are fresh spices, so that's not quite so much of an issue. And then you're going to saute these for another 3 to 5 minutes. So this is a good time to add your fennel seed, and it smells a little like licorice. And again, I'm making a half recipe, so I'm adding a half teaspoon. That was actually a quarter, so 2 quarters make 1 half. If you're making a full recipe, you can put in about a teaspoon or to taste. If you really like how it smells, put in a little extra. If you don't so much, then put in a little less. Again, 3 to 5 additional minutes with the spices and the garlic. So after your onions and garlic and spices have been sauteing, then you're ready to add your tomato product. And I have peeled tomatoes here. You could use sauce, you could use peeled tomatoes, it's up to you. If you use tomatoes like I am, then you're going to want to probably either chop them up using your wooden spoon, or you can always add all of this to the blender and blend away. It's at this point that you want to add in, if you're going to add in your little bit of sugar, and if you're going to add fresh tomatoes, now would be the time to add the fresh tomatoes. For the fresh tomatoes, you want to have peeled tomatoes, peeled and chopped. The easiest way to remove the peel from or the skin from the tomato is to drop it in boiling water for a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds up to even a minute. That will loosen the skin so it'll peel off easily. You want to let it cool, of course, before you try to peel off the skin so you don't burn yourself. All right, so don't leave your spoon in your sauce as it's cooking. That's not a good plan. As soon as this is in here, you're going to go ahead and let this simmer. Before you leave it for a couple hours, you're going to want to add half a can of tomato paste. I'm just going to be adding approximately a quarter of the can, a small can that is, and I'm going to let that blend in. I'm breaking up my tomatoes here. They break up really nicely, so I'm going to have kind of a chunky sauce. And then you go ahead and turn this down to low, bring it to a simmer, and you can let it cook for about 2 hours, just stirring occasionally.
You're finished. You can enjoy your red sauce with some spaghetti. Be sure to save some for your pizza pockets coming up.